Viva
The left-hand side of the road.
Except for the people, Darren.
Viva
Oh,
Las
sorry.
Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. We have arrived at our destination.
I'm gonna throw up.
Terrifying.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, careful, Barjo. You'll have to mop that up.
On your marks.
Get set.
And welcome to Good Games Spawn Point, the show for younger gamers by gamers. I'm Barjo.
And I'm Hex.
And I am Darren. And see, we got here safely in time for the start of the show.
Yes, well, I think we can say that's the last time we get in a car with Darren behind the wheel.
Yeah, Darren, that was meant to be a lift to work, not a stunt car rally. I think your steering software needs some new drivers.
Well, I needed to get here quickly because I feel a data dump coming on.
Oh, well, let's stick to video game racing from now on. And later in the show, we're going to have a look at Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Yes, I think Darren needs all the driving practice he can get. So let's take a look at some other races right now.
There are two new entries to the kart racing scene, F1 Race Stars and Little Big Planet Karting.
And in pole position is F1 Race Stars.
F1 Race Stars takes the usual rocket science behind traditional Formula One racing, throws all of that away and creates a cartoony karting version of F1's tracks and drivers.
It sounds like a great idea, but the result is a surprisingly dull kart racer. I wanted to like this more than I did, but I just didn't have any fun here, guys. There's your standard quick races, a career, and online and split-screen multiplayer. But there's no crazy battles or anything like that.
I know what you mean, Barjo. I mean, the first thing that put me off is that there's no drifting or sliding at all.
A kart racer without drifting? Pah, 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 pah,
All right,
pah,
Darren,
pah.
don't blow a gasket. F1 races are really all about driving lines, and I've never seen an F1 car drift at all now that I think about it. So I can see that they were trying to use that as a way to, set this game apart, but I just didn't like it at all. Drifting and sliding is core to kart racing.
Yeah, look, I want to keep an open mind with games like this, and I think they could have made it work, but the track design just doesn't back it up. And I actually love their design. They're fun interpretations of real-world F1 tracks, with lots of shortcuts and crazy loops and jumps thrown in, but they feel like they've been made for drifting and sliding around. But without the ability to drift, braking to take corners kills the fun. It's a waste of a good track.
Yeah, my biggest problem with it though is that it's just so slow. I mean, you'd expect an F1 kart racer to be really, really fast, but nope. There are 3 speeds to choose from with 1, 2, and 3000 cc, and 3000 feels like what I think the slowest one would be, and all the slower ones just feel painful.
Personally, I found the uninspired weapons to be a real letdown. Most of them are boring copies of Mario Kart weapons that just put you in a bubble.
Yes, well, it doesn't really bring anything new to the table. In fact, it takes some stuff away, so I'm giving this 5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
I'm giving it 5 as well. Now, let's see if Little Big Planet Karting can do a better job.
This is a very good kart racing game. In fact, I think Mario better check his rearview mirror because we may have a new contender for best kart racing game out there.
Affirmative. The Little Big Planet world is actually a perfect fit for such a game. The soothing voice of Stephen Fry, the silly characters, the endless customization, the happy music, the playful levels, the charming graphics.
Yes, and there's a wonderful story that ties it all together too.
Little Big Planet is once again under threat.
A bunch of ne'er-do-wells known as the Horde have been hooning around the place and hoarding up all the creativity, so it's up to you to race and battle them all to get it back.
Like other LBP games, the career is broken up into various badges. As you complete them, you'll unlock the next level as well as a bunch of bonus tracks, and there's plenty of great little mini-games and challenges too.
Yeah, and there's heaps of them. In one, you have to collect as many eggs as possible in a time limit. In another, you have to take down as many enemies as possible, just to name a couple.
Yeah, and there's also a bunch of different battle modes. There's your straightforward deathmatch arenas or an oddball-inspired mode where you have to hold on to an egg for as long as you can. There's just such a great variety of game types outside the standard kart racing that there's always something new to try.
Oh, and the racing itself is excellent. Drifting feels spot on. You can pull off some epic slides, and just like in Mario Kart, holding your drift gives you a small speed boost. Races are always nice and close too, just as they should be.
I liked how all the weapons can be used defensively. You get a handy little warning when a missile or something is coming to get you, and just before you get hit, it turns into a little shield symbol. Time your weapon to fire when you see the shield, and you can save Sackboy's bacon.
And that spiffy grappling hook is just awesome. You can sail over deadly pits and grab extra prize bubbles. It's just so fun to use.
And of course, being a Little Big Planet game, there is a level editor. Usually we're a bit rubbish at making our own levels, but making your own track here is dead simple. You paint your track out with a paintbrush and voila, it's created. Obviously, making more complicated tracks takes a bit more time, but anyone can put one together in a minute. And it's great how you can jump into a quick race on a track you've made to test it out.
Yeah, no doubt we're going to see some great tracks coming out of the community. But overall, I'd say that this is definitely one of the best kart races out there. I'm giving it 9.
I'm giving it 8.5 out of 10. Right, I'm off to read the news. Barjo here for the Good Game Spawn Point news. Cassandra Crichton is only 6 years old. However, not only has she helped create a game, but she's also given a talk at the internationally renowned Technology, Entertainment and Design Conference, better known as TED.
The ponycorn! I don't have any ponycorns right now, so I'm gonna go get some.
Cassie's created the art, voices and inspiration for Sissy's Magical Ponycorn Adventure, a game she created with the help of her father. At her TED Talk, Cassie discussed how the game was created, with her father adding that it's important to enable children's creativity, and that he hopes parents making video games with their kids one day will become a normal way to spend a weekend. The 1982 Atari game Air Raid has set a new record as being the most expensive consumer available video game ever sold at auction. The game sold for almost $33,500, beating its own previous record sale of $31,000 in 2010. There have only been 3 boxed copies of the game ever discovered, and this latest auction was the first to include the game's instruction manual.
Oh, sit down quickly, Barjo. Darren's about to dump some data.
I've got some hefty information that relates to racing games. There it is. Today's topic is dynamic game difficulty balancing, or rubber banding for short. Many video games change their difficulty level on the fly to ensure they're not too easy and not too hard. Take New Super Mario Bros. 2. If you die 5 times in a row, the game notices and gives you a special white and gold raccoon suit to help you get through the level. Rubber banding is especially useful in balancing multiplayer racing games. In Mario Kart, you get better power-ups if you're coming last. Rubber banding helps noobs and seasoned game pros have fun together by making each new game an unpredictable free-for-all. With rubber banding, it ain't over till it's over. Data dump complete.
Oh, thanks very much, Darren. We better go answer some questions at the Ask Good Game desk, Hanks.
Yeah.
Vroom, 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 vroom.
Well, let's crack into these questions, and we'll start with this one from Thor in Melbourne, Victoria.
Hey, Hex, check out my new thing. It's called Typicize. It's exercise and typing at the same time. Getting fit.
Give it a go, I
Getting
guess.
You look really awesome doing it, too. Yeah, I didn't totally just make that up to make you look silly.
Are you sure we look awesome?
Yep.
Hey guys, I wanted to ask you that how can you get money in Gran Turismo 5 without doing any racing? P.S. Darren is a big noob.
Well, Thor, if you don't want to race yourself, then your best bet would be B-Spec Racers. These let you order around AI racers and let them do the racing for you. And if you put them in a decent car, then you can usually just do something else for 10 minutes and they will win the race and some sweet hard-earned cash for you. Well, they earn the cash, you didn't earn it, but still, you still get it.
Yeah, well, it's not really the quickest way to earn money, but it's the only way that we know of to earn money without having to race yourself. So, moving right along to this one from Finn in Ringwood, Victoria.
And they still race and drive better than Darren.
That's funny because it's true.
The week before last, you said you were going to review a game like Minecraft, but triangles called Patterns. You didn't! I really want to see that game, so can you tell me why you didn't review it, or review it? Please answer! And Barjo is awesome. Yeah, I am.
Ah, yes, sorry about that one, Finn. We did totally intend to review Patterns, and we did play it, but the thing was, it's still quite early in development, and there wasn't really enough game there to base an entire review on yet, so we thought we'd wait until it's fully released.
Yes, but we can talk about it a bit now if you're interested. So at the moment, all you can really do is break apart bits of the world and place them, which isn't that exciting.
The cool thing, though, is that everything has real physics, so if you knock the bottom few pieces off a structure, it'll collapse, unlike Minecraft, where most of the things just sort of float around.
It also makes building bridges and things a bit more technical, since you need to worry about structural integrity. So if you just make a basic plank for a bridge, it probably will collapse under the weight of all the other pieces.
But yeah, that's all there really is to it at the moment. You can download it now for a price if you think it looks like something you'll enjoy, but so far I think it's still a bit early to tell how good it's actually going to be. But moving on to this one from Not a Trace of a Noob, who is in Pocket Planes in Melbourne Airport, Victoria. Hey, Good Game, I have Pocket Planes and I have joined your flight crew, but how do I help you guys get to number 1? P.S. You're 29 in the world. P.P.S. Hex is fantastic, epic, intelligent, and is so not a noob. Barjo, stop annoying her.
Hex, hey Hex. I don't really annoy you, do I? Do I annoy you? I don't think I annoy
well,
you. I try not hard not to annoy
I don't know, it is kind of annoying how you make fun of my high five skills, which are actually better than yours, I think. And sometimes you just don't pay attention to things that I'm trying to tell
Oh,
you.
hang on,
which
Hex.
is actually quite
Sorry,
important.
Hex. Have you seen this picture of a cat? Look at this. It's got a melon on its head.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Barjo.
This one's got a chef's hat. What are you cooking? Or are you cooking up a storm? Cooking up some
Well,
little
anyway,
kitty
to
treats?
help our flight crew out
Yeah.
in Pocket Planes, you just need to deliver jobs to whatever city the current global event is taking place in. But each challenge only goes for a few days and then moves to a different city and our rank resets. There are some pretty intense flight crews around though, so it'll be tough to get to number 1. We usually come in top 10 pretty often though, so that's a good effort.
Hey, Hex, check this out. Someone's hugging a monkey.
Oh,
now I want a
Barjo, will
monkey.
you just stop looking at cat pictures for a second? Please focus on the task at hand.
Have we answered the question already? Did we answer the question? Did you answer the question, Hex?
Just gonna move on to this one from
Talk about focus, being focused.
from a Nicholas.
Oh, I want a monkey.
On the Gold Coast in Queensland. You cannot have a monkey.
I would call him Badger Boogadoos. And you know what? I would train him to carry me to work every day.
Sorry, what was that name?
Badger Boogadoos. Because then I go, good morning, Boogadoos. Hello, Good Game. I was wondering, why haven't you reviewed Bad Piggies yet? Can you please do a review on it? I have heard about it. Sincerely, Nicholas, biggest fan. P.S. Did you know that Bad Piggies was made by the creators of Angry Birds? Well, Nicholas, we haven't reviewed it here because Ghost actually reviewed Bad Piggies over on our adult show a few weeks ago. He really liked it though, and he gave it 9 out of 10. And if you want, you can watch that review on our website because there's nothing inappropriate in it for spawnings.
And yes, we did know that it was made by Rovio, the developers of Angry Birds, and for all you Angry Birds fans, there's even a brand new one that just came out, Star Wars Angry Birds. Awesome. But moving right along to this one from Angus, who is in Cybertron, which is apparently in Ballarat, which is in Victoria? Yeah.
Stick your nose, Optimus Prime.
Yeah, probably.
Hi GGSP, in Ask Good Games, someone asked for some airship games. Why do you not say Guns of Icarus? It's a Starship game, so yeah. Is there going to be a new Transformers game? Please tell me. I liked Fall of Cybertron, and I'm a big fan. So please read my guest John, and hi Noah, and Jordan, from Angus.
Well, Angus, we weren't trying to list all of the airship games out there, but we just wanted to share a couple of our favourites. And neither of us have actually played Guns of Icarus, so we wouldn't know if it was worth recommending. But you're absolutely right, Guns of Icarus is an airship game. It looks alright from the trailer, but we have no idea if it's any good or any fun.
And there's only one new Transformers game coming out that I know of at the moment, which is Transformers Prime for the Wii U. There's versions of it already available for the DS, 3DS and Wii, so we'll have to wait and see if the Wii U one is much different.
No doubt there'll be plenty more Transformers games in the future though, but yeah, there aren't any that we know of right now. Alright, well I think we've got time for one more, and it's this one from Mini Barjo at the Ask Good Game desk in South Australia. Hey Barjo, these 3 questions are for you. 1, do you have to buy a new Wii U console to use the new Wii U handheld device? 2, are there any free city building games on the PC online that are a bit like The Simpsons tapped out? 3, can you please reject Darren's laser back into him the next time he fires it? Mini Barjo. P.S. Hex, tell Darren to be kind to Barjo. P.S.S. I love good game SP. P.S.S.S. P.S.S.S.S. I like bacon. P.S.S.S.S.S. I absolutely love toasted cheese sandwiches. Pave the trees. Mini Barjo out.
Well, Mini-Me, firstly, I like bacon and toasted cheese sandwiches too very much, and sometimes I even put them together for a toasted cheese and bacon sandwich. But anyway, yes, you do need a whole new Wii U console to use the new gamepad. There's all kinds of technology in the Wii U that makes use of that controller, so it just won't work with an old Wii.
And there are a few city building games like The Simpsons.
Excuse me, Hex, I think you'll find Mini Barjo said that I need to answer the question. So if we just stick to what the rules are.
Yes, all right.
Thank you. Now, can you think of any suggestions, Hex? Because I'm out of ideas.
Well, what I was going to say, if
Yeah.
you'd let me speak
Yeah.
before, was that both SimCity Social and Cityville are a lot like Simpsons Tapped
I was
Out.
just
They're
about
both
to suggest those.
free-to-play city builders, so you might have fun with those. Personally, though, I'd suggest checking out the original SimCity, which is now free and can even be played with the browser. So it's very retro, but it's still a lot of fun, I think.
And you can even get its more fleshed out sequel SimCity 2000 for free as well. And the best thing is, they aren't free to play where they eventually ask for money or you need money to make it better. They're just good old fashioned free. No money, just free.
And as for firing Darren's laser back at him, well, I'm not really sure that would be a good...
Oh, just get it tangled here. And Barjo speaking.
Hello, Barjo. I can answer this one.
Go ahead, Darren.
Well, you see, sometimes a clever noob will try and reflect my lasers back to me with a mirror or something.
Oh, I have a mirror.
Oh,
Oh, we can test this.
excellent.
Yes, it's just...
Well, you see, my armor is naturally invulnerable to my own lasers and actually amplifies them.
Right, is
So,
it? All right.
the first time it bounces off me, it doubles in power. Then if it's reflected again, it quadruples, then multiplies. by
Okay,
10.
Darren, let's do this.
It's just,
Okay.
kind of like you can't tickle yourself. It's kind of like that. Okay, go, Darren.
Firing my tickle laser!
Whoa, look at it go!
Whoa.
Back and forth!
Okay,
Stop it!
How do we stop it, Darren? I don't know how to stop it.
That tickle laser is crazy.
Yeah. Whew. Well, on that note, I think that's all we've got time for this week. So don't forget to send those questions in to here.
All right, well, we should get back to the studio.
Yeah, I wonder if he's still there. No. It's hard to get off the phone there, Darren. Right, now, my favourite racing game of all time has to be Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
We know, Barjo. We mention it every time we talk about racing games.
Well, Darren, it did set the bar for competitive arcade racing with friends.
That's true, and now, the same people bring us Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Your goal in Most Wanted is the usual fare, to be the best driver ever. To do this, you'll need to take down the Most Wanted, 10 races with 10 awesome cars.
Before you can do that, though, you'll need some cars, and there are plenty scattered about in this game, which is set in an open world, so you just need to go out there and borrow them. And they're pretty much all unlocked from the start, which I think might be a first for a racing game.
A tip for spawnlings to find new cars. If you turn off the in-game music and drive around, you'll hear the radios of the cars you can find. They all have their headlights on too.
This game is all about freedom, and it's quite clever the way everything links together. For example, if you start a race then drop out halfway, the competitors just keep on going. So you always feel like you're part of this racing world somewhat.
And one thing they do get very right is that feeling of speed. You go so fast in this game, and you also crash very fast. crashed a lot. But this game looks fantastic, doesn't it?
Oh, this is possibly the best looking racing game we've ever played on PC, and the console and Vita versions look very good too. There's complex particles as you spin about and dust flies into the air. You'll also notice beautiful reflections on the ground.
I like the checkpoint system too. It's always difficult in open world races to see where you're going on the track and avoid making wrong turns, but I think they did a pretty good job with it here. Every time I needed a checkpoint, I could see it there just in the distance.
Yeah, you still need to learn the tracks though. I mean, there are some tricky sections and corners that just come out of nowhere that felt a little bit unfair to me.
All units, check with supervisor before engaging. Over.
A good driver learns every corner, Hex.
Yeah, I guess so. Drifting is spot on, however, and it's actually easier to do than most games. Tapping the brake as you turn will send your wheels sliding, and then you manage that drift around corners. This keeps your speed up and also stops you from hitting walls.
On top of that, you also have your nitrous, which makes you go even faster. You get this by driving dangerously, and it's so much fun being able to pull out of a tight turn with that nitrous to straighten up and... But best of all, they've hit that perfect balance of making this very easy to play, but also very difficult to master.
You can also mod your car to make it more effective on the track. Each car has its own set of races, and once you've got most of the car unlocked, it becomes about fine-tuning it to suit the race at hand. You might want off-road tyres if you want to take all the off-road shortcuts, or you might want a tougher outer shell if the other competitors are trying to bump you off the track. This can be especially important online, where you can't restart the race every 5 seconds like Banjo does.
Hey, I like restarting the race, Darren. I want the best score possible, and that's because this game is infused with Autolog, which compares all of your scores against your friends. So every time you log in, you've got this whole bunch of new scores to beat. Oh.
Yeah, and there are so many different event types too, aren't there? From standard races to trying to maintain a good average speed, and more often than not, a race will end in a pursuit where you need to run from the police and either hide or try and find a garage to get a fresh coat of paint.
All pursuit units, racers will break it up. Stay on the one you're with.
I just love those pursuits, guys. Sometimes you can get stuck in one for ages. They get really out of hand.
Dispatch, I'm involved in a high-speed pursuit. I think I'm going to require assistance here. Suspect lost. I need a perimeter. I need a perimeter now.
Oh, another tip for the spawnlings. If you're being chased, take lots of tight corners. The police will often get caught in traffic that way, and you can make a sneaky escape.
Oh, full of tips today, aren't you, Darren?
Oh, another tip for spawnlings. Don't let Barjo drive.
Hit and run on my unit. I'm moving to pursuit.
Hey, Darren, in this kind of game, slow and steady doesn't always win the race. Look, I had a great time with this, and especially the online, which is so chaotic as you go in between all the different events and do jumps and crazy stuff. I loved it. I think it's the best open world racing game there is. I'm giving it 9.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Yeah, it's easily one of the best races we've played, and there's just so much to do and so many cars to collect. I'm giving it 8.5 out of 10.
Barjo, Hex, I've refueled the GG crew van, so let's wrap this up and hit the highway!
Oh, actually, Darren, thank you so much, but I was thinking that maybe we could,
We could walk. We could walk today.
Walk?
Yeah, walking's good for your body, it's healthy, and it's good for the planet.
Yeah, okay, let's do it, let's walk.
Negative. You have yet to inform the spawnlings about the games in next week's show.
Yes, well, next week that mischievous mouse returns in Epic Mickey 2.
Doubly sure you don't want to lift home.
Oh, yes.
We are sure, Darren. I've got my walking boots on.
Yeah, I've got walking
We're
goggles
going.
on. Yeah, let's
All
do
right,
it.
Hex out.
Barjo out.
Darren out.
Exercise.
Oh, careful, Barjo. Careful.